Canada.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to your citizenship ceremony. My name is Carrie Hoti, and I'm the clerk for the ceremony today. I am located in Vancouver, BC. Now, the presiding judge, citizenship judge for today's video oath ceremony is Judge Marie Senecal Tremblay. Now, we are also joined by special guests. We have with us Indigenous speaker and educator, Valvir Burke, Dr. Valvir Burke, and Nikki Kennedy. Now, before we start, please note that due to the use of a third-party platform, confidentiality cannot be guaranteed during this video oath ceremony. If you should get disconnected at any point during this session, you can use the same link and password that we give you. Now, if that doesn't work, you will be rescheduled to attend the ceremony at a later date. Now, if at any point during the ceremony you cannot hear us, please ask us to repeat ourselves, or you can also use the chat function, which is located at the bottom of your screen. Immediately after you receive your citizenship certificate, input the personal information on both the front and the back of the certificate to make sure that it's accurate. If it contains any errors, please email the same email address we contacted you with as soon as possible. Now, we would also like to remind you to keep your record of landing or confirmation of permanent residence form, as you may need it at a later date. For example, when you obtain old age security benefits. Before the ceremony starts, please turn off your cell phone volume and make sure that you will not be disturbed during the ceremony. You may sit for this video oath ceremony. You will not need to stand for the oath. Now, if you want to use a holy book to swear the oath of citizenship, have a holy book of your choice ready. Now, this is a reminder that you cannot take pictures nor record during the ceremony, as the other candidates have not given you permission to do so. You will be given an opportunity to take a picture with the citizenship judge and the platform party at the very end. We will let you know when. Lastly, if you haven't already done so, please put your microphone on mute at this moment. We now have a brief introductory video before the ceremony begins. Sorry about the technical difficulties that we've been having, but we hope you enjoyed that short video. The ceremony will be held predominantly in English based on the language preference of today's candidates for citizenship. I would now like to welcome Judge Marie Senecal Tremblay, who will be presiding over today's virtual citizenship ceremony. The citizenship ceremony is now in session. Judge Tremblay, in accordance with the provisions of the Citizenship Act, it is my privilege to present to you these candidates who have met all the requirements of the Citizenship Act and are now ready to take the oath of citizenship. I now invite you to give your opening remarks.
You're on mute right now.
Mute. Okay, well that. All right. Thank you so much, Madame Clerk. Merci beaucoup, Madame la Greffière, and to all of you here this morning. Of course, good morning. Bonjour, Anine. Mesdames et messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, bienvenue à votre cérémonie de citoyenneté. Welcome to your citizenship ceremony. Nana Bonjour. It's important to acknowledge before going any further that this citizenship ceremony is taking place on the ancestral territory of many First Nations with whom we have the great privilege of sharing this beautiful land. Cette cérémonie de citoyenneté a lieu sur les territoires ancestraux de plusieurs nations autochtones avec lesquelles nous avons le privilège de partager ce beau pays. And I wish to honor the traditional and unceded territory from where I am presiding this ceremony today, coming to you all the way across the land of Canada in the beautiful city of Montreal, of the First Nations near me and where I am presiding, the Huron-Wendat First Nation, the Algonquin Anishinaabe, and the Mohawk-Haudenosaunee First Nations. And of course, in your region, since the greater majority of you are in the greater Vancouver area, this includes the Musqueam, the Squamish, and the Tsleil-Waututh First Nations. Today is a very special day where we have a wonderful group of special guests and speakers to address us and to accompany you on this most important and long-awaited moment. And I'm delighted to present, to open our ceremony to you, Monsieur Flavio Caron, an Indigenous speaker and educator, and as the son of an Anishinaabe mother and an Italian-Canadian father, Flavio Caron is thankful for the connection to his family and his culture. As an educator and entrepreneur in Canada, Flavio has had the privilege to contribute to nation building through reconciliation in many ways. Canada has a tremendous history, and with Flavio's help, he is able to guide and has been guiding government, corporations, and citizens towards a stronger understanding and a stronger relationship with Indigenous peoples. Anine and Nana Bozo, Speaker Caron, welcome. We are privileged to have you here today and look forward to your words. Thank you. Over to you.
Merci, Judge Marie, and thank you to all the organizers and especially to everyone here in the room today. I know I'm not as excited as you, but I'm pretty excited. Ani, bonjour, Flavio Caron, Indishnagas. Good morning, everyone. My name is Flavio Caron. Bonjour tout le monde. Je m'appelle Flavio Caron. A few languages there. The first one, and the judge shared that too as well, Anishinaabemowin. It's not probably part of your citizenship preparation, but it's my language of my peoples. Has been spoken for more than 1,000 years. Must be an incredible day. Wow. My mother, as mentioned, is Anishinaabe from Northern Ontario, so I'm a guest out here in North Vancouver. As a guest, this office that I'm in right now is on unceded traditional territory of Coast Salish peoples. I'm on the Squamish, or the Tsleil-Waututh Nation. The Squamish Nation is very close by, and the Musqueam peoples as well. Also very close family histories, economic histories going back thousands of years. And as mentioned, it's also called North Vancouver. I'm married with 2 children. I have been very fortunate. My extended family have been healthy over the past 2 very interesting years, and I'm Canadian. I do not speak to you today for any group. I speak to you as an Indigenous person in Canada, and I speak to you as a Canadian citizen. A Canadian citizen who really admires the wealth and breadth of the knowledge and potential that newcomers bring to Canada. And today, that's what you bring to Canada. My father came to Canada in 1957 on a boat as a teenager by himself, so I have a direct connection to how important that is for all of us. Treasure your amazing histories that you bring, and new amazing histories are going to be created. They will be created. Canada has a complex relationship with Indigenous peoples, and through truth and reconciliation here, we grow stronger every day, and we grow stronger together. This involves more learning for everyone, including yourselves, and it will include some work that you'll need to do. It's very necessary and important work in Canada, and it's a responsibility, and I know you take that on. Treasure those amazing histories. New amazing histories will be created for you in Canada. It's an honor to share a part of this day with you. What can I say that you don't already feel? Know that our futures, I'm thinking of this, our futures are now joined together. Every action you take from today as a new Canadian citizen will be a part of nation building. It may sometimes be just a little part of nation building, but I trust you are ready. Today's both a big day, but a small beginning. And always remember, big things have small beginnings. Treasure your histories. New histories for you will be created in Canada as Canadians. There's so many happy people here. It's amazing to be a part. Chimigwech, bonjour. Thank you. Welcome. Merci. Bienvenue. Enjoy this day. Hug your family. Smile a lot.
Thank you so much. Merci and Chimigwech, Monsieur Caron, for those really deeply moving and warm words of welcome that I can say really inspires all of us are about to become new citizens, and everyone here today to actively seek out ways to learn, as you just said so well, because it's when we are open to learning that we acquire knowledge, and it's through knowledge that leads us to understanding, and it's understanding in its turn that brings about the change, I believe, needed so that we can all move forward and walk together on this so important path of reconciliation. So Chimigwech, merci beaucoup for your wonderful words. Certainly on a day like today, we can certainly ask, what does it really mean to be a citizen of Canada? And perhaps at its simplest, we can say that it's the idea of, on one hand, being able to rise to the challenge of taking full responsibility for our lives and those who depend on us. And on the other hand, it's about staying open to giving back of ourselves into the Canadian communities where we are living our daily lives. We know that for some of you, the journey leading to this day has been particularly difficult. Nous savons que pour certains d'entre vous, le chemin jusqu'à ce jour a été très difficile. In some cases, you've had to overcome enormous obstacles and make great personal sacrifice as you fled oppression, violence, discrimination, and even war. Dans certains cas, vous avez dû faire des sacrifices personnels énormes pour fuir l'oppression, la violence et voire même la guerre. We take a moment here to salute the patience and perseverance you've all shown. This is a long process made much longer, unfortunately, by this pandemic of the last 2 years. But we know that in certain cases, we are saluting now extraordinary amounts of personal courage that you have shown to arrive to this moment. Nous soulignons votre patience et persévérance, mais nous savons aussi que dans certains cas, nous soulignons du courage personnel absolument exceptionnel pour arriver à ce jour. Over 100 years ago, Canada's 7th Prime Minister was Sir Wilfrid Laurier, and he said memorably about this country that he said Canada is free and freedom is its nationality. That phrase is so memorable, you'll find it engraved in the background pages of the Canadian passport. But that freedom Laurier spoke about does not walk alone in Canada. It walks hand in hand firmly with civic responsibilities of each and every citizen and civic rights on both sides. And it's that trio of values that goes to the heart of what forms Canadian democracy. And today, as a citizen of Canada, you're about to acquire the very important civic responsibility and right to vote and to stand as a candidate, if you wish, in all elections in the future. Provincial, municipal, federal, coming your way. Every time you will participate actively, make up your mind, learn, read, decide. In that process, you will be forming and contributing to Canada's ideal of participatory democracy, and also, in a way, acting in solidarity for all those around the world who are fighting for that precious right to be able to be governed as they, in a representative way of how they feel as citizens. Today, you'll also be reaffirming the rights you acquired as a permanent resident. Of course, your right to freedom of expression, of peaceful association, of religion, and that fundamental right, which is really a societal value of Canada, the right to equality between men and women in this country. You'll be able to live in the province and territory of your choosing and also benefit fully from all the advantages that flow from our federal bilingual status, which is unique in the Americas. So going forward, as you can see, Canada provides a lot of opportunities, but it does ask in return that you actively participate and contribute into Canadian society. And as you do so, you will be ensuring the ongoing good health of Canadian democracy, ensuring that it evolves always more generously and more inclusively. Et maintenant, nous voici arrivés au moment tant attendu où vous allez dire le serment de la citoyenneté canadienne. And now we've arrived at that long-awaited moment where you will be creating a lifelong personal memory as you say the oath of Canadian citizenship, first in English and then in French, and I invite you to say it in both at this important moment. And on that note, I'm very happy to turn matters back over to your clerk of the citizenship ceremony, who will proceed with some very important instructions prior to the oath taking. Madame la Greffière, Madame Clerk, it's now over to you.
Thank you, Judge Tremblay. We will now proceed with the oath of citizenship. All candidates who are 14 years of age and older are required to take the oath. If there's any doubt that you've taken the oath, you will not obtain your citizenship certificate. Now, taking the oath is the last requirement in becoming a Canadian citizen. You are required to repeat the oath in English or French after the citizenship judge. You are encouraged to repeat it in both languages as a symbolic gesture of respecting Canada's two official languages. The judge will start by saying, "I swear," but you have the choice of saying either "I swear" or "I affirm." We ask that you position yourself directly in front of the camera so that we may see you properly during the oath taking. Please pay close attention to the following instructions. You will repeat the oath as a group, one sentence at a time, each time after the citizenship judge. Please do not read the oath on your own. If you choose to swear the oath on a holy book, please place the holy book in your left hand. Now, would you now please turn on your microphones, and if you can please keep background noises to a minimum. There is a mute button, which is located at the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. We'll give everyone a moment to unmute themselves. So seat number 79, if you can please unmute yourself. This would perfect. Wonderful. Thank you, everyone. Now, would you now please raise your right hand? Judge Tremblay, the candidates for citizenship are ready to read the oath of citizenship.
Thank you, Madame Clerk. Merci beaucoup, Madame la Greffière. So because of the size of the group, we may have, and you may hear, some time lag in your voices, and I may go a little more slowly to be able to hear everyone. I will start in English, and then I will continue in French, and I do encourage you to do your best and to try to say it in both languages. I swear that I will be faithful.
I swear that I will be faithful.
And bear true allegiance.
And bear true allegiance.
Yes.
To Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
To Her Majesty Elizabeth
II.
Queen of Canada.
Queen of Canada.
Her heirs and successors. And that I will faithfully observe.
And that I will faithfully observe
Laws of Canada.
laws of Canada,
Including the Constitution.
including the Constitution,
Which recognizes and affirms
recognizes and affirms
the Aboriginal and treaty rights
Aboriginal and treaty rights
of First Nations,
of First Nations,
Inuit and Métis peoples,
Inuit and Métis peoples,
and fulfill my duties
and fulfill my duties
as a Canadian citizen.
as a Canadian citizen.
Je jure que je serai fidèle et que je porterai sincère allégeance à Sa Majesté la Reine Elisabeth II, Reine du Canada, à ses héritiers et à ses successeurs, que j'observerai fidèlement les lois du Canada, y compris la Constitution, qui reconnaît et confirme des droits ancestraux ou issus de traités et Premières Nations, des Inuits et des Métis, et que je remplirai loyalement mes obligations citoyens canadiens. Congratulations, félicitations. Congratulations, vraiment, félicitations. Alors, bienvenue dans la grande famille canadienne. Welcome, of course, to the great Canadian family, and you can be rest assured that we are each and every time in these video oath ceremonies both delighted and honored and also relieved to have overcome all of the technological challenges to be able to welcome you as we have just done by saying the oath together. Despite the fact that today we do have some technical challenges to overcome, I do want to congratulate you as well for making such a great effort to say the oath in what are now both your official languages. It is, in my view, the very best way to spend the first few seconds of what is, in fact, your freshly minted and newly acquired national identity as a Canadian. So I do congratulate you on doing that. I can hear you doing a great job over the technological challenges. You are becoming citizens at a very special time because you're becoming Canadian citizens in the month of March. And in March, Canada celebrates quite a number of special days, including the International Day celebrating La Francophonie. That was March 20th, not long ago, where we take a moment to celebrate the French-speaking communities that are found coast to coast in this country. Out of the 10 million French-speaking people of Canada, 3 million almost do so outside of Quebec. In Saskatchewan, in Manitoba, in Alberta, in BC, all across this country. On March 14th, we celebrated Commonwealth Day, and I do invite you to seek out what it means to be part of that unique group of 54 countries that are remained united and committed to the development of free democratic societies and the promotion of peace. It's a pretty unique and I would say neat thing to be part of the Commonwealth as a Canadian. But the day I want to really highlight in March is March 8th. March 8th, we celebrated the International Day of Women and all the amazing things that women obviously contribute to society worldwide, but to Canadian society in particular. And this leads me to the great pleasure and honor of introducing your wonderful guest speaker today, who is Dr. Valvir Burke, who is a wonderful example of that and allows us to connect your moment of citizenship with that important day in the month of March. Dr. Burke is a half-generation immigrant to Canada who is best known for using her academic privilege to improve communities. She's been honored with international, provincial, and community awards for teaching excellence, leadership, community engagement that address health challenges and inequities, and has been frequently sought out by the media to comment on the relationship between violence and other social and health issues. She serves as a role model for peers, students, and community activists in Canada. So Dr. Burke, it's with great pleasure that I turn the microphone, so to speak, over to you. Merci, bienvenue, welcome.
Merci, Judge Tremblay. Thank you for the wonderful introduction, and good morning, everyone. I first want to acknowledge that I'm on the ancestral and unceded territory of the Senyan, Muketzi, Coquitlam, Kwantlen, Hittite, and Tsawwassen First Nations. In other words, you may know where I am. It's called Surrey. So congratulations on becoming Canadian citizens, and thank you for choosing Canada to be the place you call home. Canada was rated as the best country in the world to live in by U.S. News and World Reports. And one of the reasons Canada is rated so high is due to our human rights legislation, which makes it illegal to discriminate against people based on a number of factors, including race and gender. Immigrants, as some of you may already know, we are welcomed into Canada by many, but can also face discrimination and barriers. Racism, in some ways, is better than when I was a young girl in the 1960s and 1970s, when I was made fun of because of my name and skin color. Unfortunately, some people still believe being Canadian means being white. My goal, and the goal of many people I know, is for you to be welcomed into our great country with open arms, and to have all the support that you need to thrive in this country. As an educator and someone who continues to fight for equity, I must finish by encouraging everyone in this room to embody the ideals of Canada that Judge Tremblay was speaking of, and of being a place. Canada is a place that welcomes immigrants, and we treat all citizens with respect, where men and women have equal rights, and a place where everyone can be successful with hard work and determination. So please embody these ideals and encourage others around you to do the same. Our country is great and brings with it many opportunities, but we must never settle. The story of Canada is not one of perfection, but one of continued and continuing progress. Welcome to Canada, and I look forward to all of your contributions to make our country even greater. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Dr. Burke, for those incredibly moving and inspirational words. And what a better way to come to the end of this long process and this journey, this chapter in everyone's life, everyone who's here today. It's the close of a chapter as a permanent resident, and it's the beginning of a brand new adventure as a Canadian citizen. And this is a wonderful way to start those words and those inspirational encouragements to spur each and every one of us onward to be ever more engaged in Canadian society. I do think, as these citizens are now fully part of that idea of Canadian identity, that the Canadian identity can be described as something where it's made up both of a capacity for openness and a capacity to share. And it's through that openness and sharing that we are able to build bridges of mutual trust all across the rich but complex cultural diversity that now makes up this country. And in turn, those bridges of trust are what allows us to take the very best cultural values from all over the world and weave them into a cloth or a tapestry that over time is transformed, as we all are, in a way, into something unique and Canadian at the same time. And I do want to say that you're a wonderful example in this room today of that rich cultural diversity that Canada knows is its great strength, because in a room of 80 new Canadian citizens, we have 30 countries represented. That's a very impressive ratio, and you can be quite proud of being representative of that perfect mix of diversity that we do talk about, but here it is in this room in evidence. I do encourage you now as you go forward to therefore stay open to learning. You've got so much to learn about. You've got to learn about the First Nations in your regions, what it means to be part of the Commonwealth. You've got that call to action from Dr. Burke in your mind to live up to. I do encourage you to go forward and to do all of that and build your very own bridges of trust, and always to do so with great respect and tolerance and with great kindness and honor. And rest assured that as you do so, we will all together be building a Canada that is even better than it is today. And now, to close this ceremony, another special moment that I'm so happy to present, a very special performer who is going to lead all of us and you in the singing of O Canada, your national anthem for the very first time as a Canadian. And that is Nikki Kennedy. And Nikki Kennedy is a New Zealand-born and Vancouver-based singer, songwriter, and musician. She's a graduate from the Randolph College for the Performing Arts in Toronto, Ontario, and has been featured internationally in publications, in television, as well as on radio. She was a 2021 participant in the SOCAN Foundation's TV incubator for creative entrepreneurship, which is very impressive, and currently performs 4 virtual shows a week on Volume, connecting her with audiences around the world. Alors, Nikki Kennedy, bienvenue. welcome, and I now turn the virtual microphone over to you with great pleasure, avec beaucoup de plaisir.
Thank you so much, and congratulations, everyone. I am joining you today from the unceded territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh Nations, otherwise known as the City of Vancouver, and it is my absolute privilege to invite you to join me in the singing of the Canadian National Anthem.
So I think that was so beautiful that as much as it would have been nice for us to join in, I think we would have really diluted the beauty of that performance. Thank you so much. What a delight to the ears to finish the ceremony with that beautiful anthem. And now, Madame Clerk, I turn matters back over to you.
Thank you, Judge Tremblay. On behalf of IRCC, congratulations to the new Canadians, and thank you to everyone who contributed to this citizenship ceremony. This citizenship ceremony is now closed. Now, we will now allow you to take a selfie before the judge and the platform party leaves. If everyone can please close your video so that you only see myself and the platform party on your screen. At the bottom left-hand corner of your screen is a small camera icon. Please click on this to turn your camera on. I'll give you a moment to do so.
Take picture. Yeah, take picture. Mình có thể take được không con? Take so yeah. No? I can't, but in 2 seconds.
So again, if you can turn your video off, there's a small camera icon at the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Thank you. Now, here is how you can take a selfie. Now go ahead and you're able to take a selfie of yourself with the platform party. We'll give you a minute to do so.
Chụp hình nhau. Lấy phone của con chụp đi. Mình chụp con thôi. Đứng đó đi. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Ok. Chụp mẹ lại. 1, 2, 3. Quay hay chụp đó?
Was everyone able to take a photo?